Welcome back to the Bak'n Show. Yes, it's been a while since I've been back, since you've seen the video. It's been a month, actually. The hip surgery went really well. Back to walking without any support, and I'm back to the plants. And it's a good thing, because today is harvest day. Now, I expected to do a video in between now and maybe 2 weeks ago, but I just decided to just lay back, recover completely, and then come and cut the plants down. Well, today is December the 15th, and these plants here were supposed to be cut down like a week or two ago. And I let them go a little longer, which was a good idea, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But if you remember in the past videos, I mentioned to you that Jeremy from Growpeaceful mentioned to me but this was the old soil mix, and I guess because the plants were having problems making it to completion without any deficiencies, they upgraded the soil mix, and I will show you that in the other plant, the pound dog, which is in the other room. But with these here, the leaves started, this one is definitely fading out nicely, getting a nice color that it should, but this one here really took a beating. We're going to get a closer look at these plants in just a second. But we got a bunch of dead leaves on it because I believe it had a lockout, or the nutrients, we burnt up the nutrients in the soil. Because these plants, as you can see, got huge. And if you remember from the past videos, they were big as hell. But now they're just all bud. Nice dense bud. This one over here is more dense than this one here. But this one here is bigger. This is the forbidden runts. And this one here is the strawberry garrote. And we're, like I said, today is day 79 since they popped their heads up out of the soil. And we're gonna go ahead and cut them down a day. I'm gonna give you a trichome. I got the microscope out. I'm gonna get you a closer look at the trichomes before we cut them down. You can see we got amber and cloudy. But before we get to that part, I just want you to get a closer look at each one of the buds in here. So let's do that now. All right, as you can see, we had some dried up leaves. That's what made me say that, you know, I knew that the plant was definitely depleting all the nutrients that was here in this soil mix. And in addition, it had a lockout or something, a potassium lockout or something along the way also. Now, we did pH the water each and every time we watered these plants, but again, I don't think it was enough in here to get it to the end. So I did about 2 weeks ago give it some recharge and some cow mag, and it helped out some. And you could, if you notice over in this plant here, the leaves didn't die off like it did on this plant here. They kind of stayed around. They started fading, but once I gave it the cow mag and the recharge, it got a little greener. But normally the plant fades out when it's coming to senescence anyway. So that's what's happening here. We're getting the fall colors, the purple, the yellows, the light green, because all of it is, all the nutrients in the soil is pretty much depleted. And now all it's doing now is eating what's left in the plant, in its leaves. So as you can see, the buds are nice size. Hell of an aroma on this one. Yeah, that strawberry gorilla, that's gonna be nice. But as you can see, this plant here is not as big as this one here. And we talked about in past videos, as you can see, I super cropped this one, the big knuckle here, that developed from me bending this because it was growing straight up. And if I hadn't super cropped it, it would have outgrew the tent. But this is what the plants look like now, right before we cut them down. Got a few smaller nugs down at the bottom here. This either will go to a wash or we'll make some edibles out of this stuff down here. But everything up this way is solid buds. But let me get the microscope out now and give you a closer look at the trichomes. All right, now we got the microscope out, and as you can see, it's a pretty nice shot right there of the trichomes. You see, as you can see, we got a few ambers up in there, but look at all the cloudy ones. And there's still a couple clear ones still there. Let me get another nug. Oh, here we go. Look how beautiful those heads are there. But see all that cloudy there, a couple amber in there. So it's definitely time to cut this down. And And this one here is the forbidden runts we're looking at. I'm gonna switch over to the strawberry gorilla now. And here, strawberry gorilla. Now look at the amber on that one there. See all those yellow or amber colored heads there? This one's a little further along than the other one. I'm gonna find another nug and let you see another one. Try this one. Yeah, look at that shot there. All that cloudy in there, some amber. So it's definitely ready to come down. All right, so as you can see, that these are definitely ready to come down. But before we chop these, we'll give you a quick look at the clones that we took that you saw maybe like 2 videos ago. They definitely need to be transplanted. They definitely need some water today. But these are the, I believe it's 11 that made it. And they're doing really, really well. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a look at the root system. Nice and white. But it's definitely time to transplant these into bigger pots. All right, well, yeah, you've seen the clones are doing great. But back over here, these are definitely ready to come down. But before we cut these down, I want you to see, get a look at the pound cake and see how much better the pound cake is doing compared to these here. Because if you remember, the pound cake was done under the new amended soil. They just, the ones that's coming out now are under they have the new amended soil. And it's definitely stronger, and I'm gonna show you that now as we look at the pound cake. All right, over here in this 2x4 in the laundry room, as you can see, this pound cake is doing fantastic. Look how big she is. Look at the size of these colas. They are all bricks, nice hard, all the way down to here. These are all solid buds. And they got a little funky smell to it. Not a big fan of the smell, but it's strong and it's sticky. But yeah, it got like a gassy, if you're into more of the gassy weed, this is probably that, the gas. I'm not sure what the pound cake is made of. I never looked up the lineage, but it's supposed to be done in 75 to 90 days, 75 to 80 days. And a day, I believe, is day 60, around that ballpark for this plant here. Remember, this plant here was started about 2 weeks after the other tents. But this here is doing fantastic. We'll get you a closer look at the buds. Yeah, all the top colas here are dynamite. You see how big they are, and they still have at least 2 weeks or so to go before we'll be chopping this one down. We're starting to get some fade on the leaves right up in here, as you can see. Let's see. Yeah, the leaves are starting to fade here, so that definitely let me know the plant only got maybe 2 weeks left in his life. But the plant is huge. Jeremy from Growpeaceful told me that this plant is going to get huge. That's why we switched it over to this tent here. But I haven't put any support on it. As you can see how she's flopping around, all kind of weight on here. This is definitely gonna be the biggest autoflower that we've grown since we started these Growpeaceful Autoflower runs. This one here is definitely even grown better than any of the other ones. But again, we'll keep our eye on this girl here for the next 2 weeks or so, and we'll be cutting her down soon. But let's get back over to the other tent and let's get those 2 plants cut down so we can hang those up. All right, we're back over here in this 2x4, and we're gonna cut these 2 plants down here. We're gonna hang these in my bathroom that you've seen me do before. The temperatures down here in my basement are great right now. And that bathroom should be about 66 degrees, 68 degrees, somewhere in that ballpark. And the humidity, I am going to probably have to put one of my humidifiers in that bathroom to bring the humidity up, because it's only going to be in a 40% ballpark, and I wanted to get the temperatures in the 60s and the humidity in the 60s. But first thing we're going to do is cut my trellis net down. And once we get this cut down, to cut the plants down. And as you can see, I have my dog with me today. Now for the rest of this trellis, now once I get it in the bathroom, I am going to cut some of these dead leaves off that you can see. I'm just going to use my hand. I'm going to get some gloves and just rub my hand across the buds, and any of the dried up stuff that you can see will just fall right off. Matter of fact, I might go ahead and do that here, so I just have to clean up here instead of cleaning up over there too. Let me do that right quick. As you can see, I'm just trying to get some of these dead leaves on. Just crumble them up before the buds dry up. And these dead leaves here are harder to trim out if you leave them. So it's best to go ahead and just try to get as many of them off as you can prior to. It'll make it easier when you go to trim these up. If you're hand trimming that, if you're putting them in a bowl or a trim machine, it'll all come off. But again, you're gonna have some of these little dried up leaves in your buds, even if you use the trim machine at the end. So best just take your fingers and rub it across and you don't want to, people say you don't want to touch your buds because you're destroying trichomes. These plants are much more resilient than that. You ain't got to worry about killing your trichomes or nothing like that. All right, for the most part, that looks good. We can definitely cut these down now and just hang them up as they are. And as they continue to dry over the coming days, we can go in and pluck some leaves off there. Like this one here is pretty much leaf free. There's only a few, as you can see, the yellow ones there. They eventually just fall off on their own. And I pretty much cleared out all the dry stuff that was growing into the bud. And there's still a few of them up in there. But again, once we go through the trimming process, we trim those all out. Much easier to do it then with the amount that we have left. Now, if we hadn't touched these at all, we would have had a mess to clean up on the other end. About 2 weeks when these will be done. So let's cut these down now and we'll get them hung up. Now I cut it down right here with the splits there, and I'll take my hook and I'll hang my hook on it right here and then turn it upside down when we're hanging it in the room. But let me let you get a closer look. It's a nice size girl, plenty weight on it. Nice colas up top, like the main one here. It's nice size. And like I said, I got a hell of an aroma coming off of it. So for the autoflower, it's a nice size autoflower. Definitely the biggest one I've grown so far. These two here. But we are, like I just showed you, the pound dog would be even bigger than these when it's done. So let me take this one. I'm gonna sit this one down right here first. Matter of fact, I'll hang it. So I have it sit down. Hang that right there for a moment. And we'll come over here and do the same thing here. Get a closer look at that one real quick. Nice, hard, dense colas up here. And I love the colors that are starting to come through on it. A hell of a aroma. So, this one here, I wouldn't be surprised if this weight is heavier than this, even though this plant is bigger. Isn't it? The buds aren't as dense as these here. These are rock hard. Yeah, hell of a smell. But yeah, let me take these now into the bathroom, hang them up, and I'll give you a look at them in the bathroom. All right, we got them hung up here in the laundry, the bathroom. This one here is the Strawberry Gorilla. This is a smaller one. I'm gonna put some tags on them and put a date. I normally put the date up here on the bar so I remember when I put these in here. And here the Forbidden Runts here on the right. But yeah, I didn't take the rest of the trellis nut off. I'll cut this off when it's dried up. Be easier to do it then. But yeah, that's what it'll be here for the next 10 to 14 days or so. In here right now is 66 degrees. And the humidity though is pretty low. So I'm gonna bring the humidifier, I'll put that down here on the floor. That'll bring the humidity up here in this room. And yeah, it should dry nice and slow. And I've Can't wait to taste this because the way it smells in here right now, it smells like it's gonna be some dynamite weed. But that's all we have for you on this week's episode. I'm glad to be back. I'll definitely have some more episodes coming out in the coming weeks. The next episode for this will be the finished drying. Once it's dried and I'm ready to weigh it up, I'll do a video for this then. But yeah, that's all I have for you for the Grow Peaceful Corner. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay baked.